Today, we embark on a profound journey through one of the most introspective and relatable psalms in the Bible, Psalm 73. This psalm, attributed to Asaph, a leader of one of the temple choirs, takes us on a deeply personal journey from doubt and confusion to renewed faith and understanding. Our purpose today is to explore this journey in Psalm 73, to understand the struggle with the apparent prosperity of the wicked, and to find solace and strength in the ultimate realization of God's justice and presence. This exploration is not just a theological exercise, but a reflection that resonates with many of our own experiences and struggles in life. Before we dive into the text, let me share a brief personal story. There was a time in my life when I faced significant challenges and could not understand why I, trying to live a righteous life, was encountering so many obstacles, while those who seemed to disregard moral and ethical standards appeared to flourish. It was during this time of questioning and doubt that I turned to Psalm 73. The raw honesty and ultimate reaffirmation of faith in this psalm provided me with comfort and clarity, helping me to see beyond my immediate circumstances and trust in God's greater plan. As we go through this psalm together, I invite you to open your hearts and minds, reflecting on your own journeys of doubt and faith. Let's delve into the words of Asaph and discover the timeless truths that can guide us through our most challenging times. To truly appreciate the depth and message of Psalm 73, it's important to understand its context. This psalm, like many others, is attributed to Asaph, a prominent figure in the music ministry of King David's reign. Asaph was not only a leader of one of the temple choirs, but also a seer, a prophet, and a man deeply involved in the worship life of Israel. Asaph, the author of Psalm 73, is recognized as one of David's chief musicians. His role was significant in leading worship and in composing psalms that captured the spiritual and emotional life of the Israelite community. The psalms attributed to Asaph, including Psalm 73, often reflect a profound sense of the struggles and the faith journey of God's people. Psalm 73 was written during a time when Israel was experiencing various socio-political challenges. The Israelites often found themselves in a turbulent environment, facing threats from neighboring nations and dealing with internal social and economic disparities. In this climate, the prosperity of the wicked and the suffering of the righteous became a poignant issue, resonating deeply with the community's collective experience. The central theme of Psalm 73 is the struggle with the apparent prosperity of the wicked and the suffering of the righteous. This psalm captures a universal human experience, the bewilderment and frustration when the moral order seems inverted. Asaph begins by expressing his envy and confusion at the success of those who live in opposition to God's ways, and he honestly recounts his personal struggle with these observations. Psalm 73 is structured to take the reader through a journey of emotional and spiritual transformation. It starts with Asaph's honest expression of doubt and disillusionment, then moves to a critical turning point where he gains a deeper understanding through worship, and finally concludes with a reaffirmation of faith and trust in God's ultimate justice. Understanding the context in which Psalm 73 was written helps us to appreciate the profound emotional and spiritual journey Asaph undertakes. His honesty in grappling with the difficult questions of faith makes this psalm especially relatable to anyone who has ever questioned the fairness of life or struggled to reconcile their faith with their experiences. As we move forward, we will see how Asaph's journey from doubt to faith offers us valuable insights and encouragement for our own spiritual journeys. Psalm 73 begins with a declaration of God's goodness. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. Psalm 73:1. However, almost immediately, Asaph plunges into a deep and personal struggle, revealing a profound inner conflict that many of us can relate to. In verses 2 and 3, Asaph admits his faltering steps and envy. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Asaph's honesty is striking. Despite his role as a leader in worship, he confesses to feelings of jealousy and resentment. He is troubled by the apparent success and ease of those who live in defiance of God's ways. This raw admission sets the stage for the emotional journey that follows. Verses 4-12 detail Asaph's observations of the wicked. They have no struggles, their bodies are healthy and strong, they are free from common human burdens, they are not plagued by human ills. Asaph notes that the wicked seem to live lives of ease and abundance, untouched by the common hardships faced by others. They are proud, violent, and often blasphemous, yet they prosper. These observations intensify Asaph's internal struggle, making him question the fairness of life and even the justice of God. Asaph's words in verses 13-14 reveal his deep disillusionment. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. Here Asaph voices a sentiment that many believers may have felt at some point, the feeling that their efforts to live righteously are in vain. Despite his commitment to purity and innocence, Asaph feels afflicted and punished, exacerbating his sense of injustice. Asaph's struggle is highly relatable. We all face moments where the world's injustices seem overwhelming, whether it's seeing unethical individuals succeed, dealing with personal suffering, or feeling that our faithfulness is not rewarded. These experiences can lead to profound doubt and spiritual crisis. In modern terms, this might look like questioning why dishonest people thrive in business, why corrupt leaders remain in power, or why personal trials seem to hit the hardest just when we are striving to do what's right. Asaph's candor in expressing his envy and doubt validates these feelings, showing that such struggles are part of the human experience, even for the faithful. These first 14 verses of Psalm 73 powerfully illustrate the beginning of Asaph's journey. They depict a man grappling with the disparity between his belief in a good and just God and the harsh realities he observes in the world around him. His willingness to lay bare his doubts and frustrations provides a poignant reminder that faith is not about the absence of doubt, but about navigating through it. As we reflect on Asaph's struggle, we are encouraged to confront our own doubts with the same honesty. It is through this acknowledgement of our deepest fears and questions that we can begin to seek a deeper understanding and ultimately, a stronger faith. In the midst of Asaph's struggle and doubt, there comes a pivotal moment, a turning point that marks a shift in perspective and sets the stage for a profound spiritual transformation. Verses 16 and 17 capture this transformative moment. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply till I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their final destiny. Here, Asaph recounts his attempts to grapple with the seeming injustice of the world. He confesses that his efforts to understand and reconcile the disparities he observes only serve to trouble him further. However, it is when he enters the sanctuary of God, when he turns to worship and seeks divine perspective, that he begins to gain clarity and insight. The sanctuary represents a sacred space of worship and communion with God. It is a place of refuge, reflection, and revelation. For Asaph, entering the sanctuary signifies a turning away from his own limited understanding and a turning toward God's infinite wisdom and truth. It is in this sacred space that he begins to see beyond the immediate circumstances and gain a glimpse of the bigger picture. Asaph's experience in the sanctuary marks a profound shift in perspective. No longer bound by his own doubts and limited understanding, he begins to see with eyes of faith. He gains a deeper insight into the ultimate fate of the wicked and the righteous, recognizing that true justice is not found in earthly prosperity, but in the eternal destiny ordained by God. Through worship and reflection, Asaph comes to understand the final destiny of the wicked. He sees that their apparent prosperity is fleeting and that they are ultimately headed for destruction. This revelation brings him a sense of peace and assurance as he realizes that God's justice will prevail in the end. As we contemplate Asaph's turning point, we are invited to consider our own experiences of seeking understanding and finding refuge in God's presence. Like Asaph, we may encounter moments of doubt and confusion in our lives. Yet it is in turning to God, in seeking solace and wisdom in His sanctuary, that we can find clarity and strength to persevere. The sanctuary experience reminds us that true wisdom and insight are found in communion with God. It is when we surrender our doubts and uncertainties to Him that we can find peace and understanding beyond our own comprehension. As we journey through life's challenges, may we always remember to seek refuge in the sanctuary of God, knowing that He alone holds the answers to our deepest questions and the assurance of our ultimate destiny. Having experienced a profound shift in perspective and finding solace in the sanctuary of God, Asaph's journey in Psalm 73 culminates in a resounding affirmation of faith. Through his reflection and prayer, he emerges with a renewed sense of trust and confidence in God's goodness and sovereignty. Asaph's affirmation of faith begins with a recognition of God's justice. "Surely you place them on slippery ground, you cast them down to ruin." Psalm 73:18. Here Asaph acknowledges that the apparent prosperity of the wicked is fleeting. Despite their outward success, they stand on precarious ground, destined for destruction. This acknowledgement brings Asaph a sense of reassurance, knowing that God's justice will ultimately prevail. Asaph finds further comfort in the realization of God's continual presence. "Yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into glory." Psalm 73:23-24. These verses express Asaph's intimate relationship with God. He acknowledges God's constant presence in his life, guiding him with wisdom and counsel. This assurance gives Asaph confidence to face whatever challenges may come, knowing that God is with him every step of the way. In the final verses of Psalm 73, Asaph declares his ultimate refuge in God. "But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds." Psalm 73:28. Here, Asaph reaffirms his commitment to God as his refuge and strength. He recognizes the goodness of drawing near to God and vows to proclaim his deeds to others. This declaration reflects Asaph's deepened faith and his desire to share the blessings of God with those around him. As we come to the close of our exploration of Psalm 73, we have journeyed alongside Asaph through the depths of doubt to the heights of faith. We have witnessed his raw honesty in grappling with the disparities of life, his transformative experience in the sanctuary of God, and his resounding affirmation of faith in the goodness and justice of God. Reflecting on Asaph's journey, we are reminded that doubt is not the absence of faith, but an invitation to deeper understanding. It is through wrestling with our doubts, seeking God in the midst of our questions, that our faith is strengthened and refined. Psalm 73 challenges us to confront our own doubts and uncertainties, to bring them before God in prayer and worship, and to trust in His ultimate wisdom and goodness. Just as Asaph found solace and clarity in the sanctuary of God, so too can we find refuge and peace in His presence. May we, like Asaph, declare with confidence, "But as for me, it is good to be near God." May we draw near to Him in times of struggle and uncertainty, knowing that He holds the answers to our deepest questions and the assurance of our ultimate destiny. As we journey forth from this reflection on Psalm 73, let us carry with us the lessons of doubt, faith, and trust. Let us embrace the struggles of life as opportunities for growth and transformation. And let us continue to seek God's presence, wisdom, and guidance in all that we do. May the words of Psalm 73 resonate in our hearts and minds, guiding us ever closer to the one who is our refuge and strength, now and forevermore. Thank you.